Welcome to Charter Local Edition. I'm Tracy Young. Our guest is best-selling author and business astrologer Arthur Chadbourne. And he joins us to talk about how to take the ow out of power and why that can help us lead a more productive and fruitful life. Nice to have you with us, Arthur.
Well, thank you for having me.
Okay, we're talking about taking the ow, the O-W, out of the word power. Why do I care? Why is it important?
Well, first of all, it's not our power that we're interested in. It's the people who we gave power at an earlier age that gave us some false information by which we operate on.
And so who are we speaking about?
We're speaking about parents, we're speaking about siblings, we're speaking about our peer pressure groups, we're speaking about our cultural situation, maybe even religion itself could be a part and parcel of that.
Is it correct to say then that, and if people mean well, most people mean well, but they may tell you, you'll never go to college, or you're going to be a doctor, and so we end up following that life path, and we maybe don't follow the path that we should have or that we want to?
That's a good statement. Actually, you're absolutely right. This is exactly where we go with it. A lot of times we'll be told something about somebody that we believe really knows, and as a child, we can't look past the premise of why we were told what we were told. Sometimes somebody will say, why is this? And the parent will go, I don't have time right now, go clean your room. 30 years later, this person's trying to get ahead in business, and they can't ask a question.
Right.
No, they can't ask a question because of the fact, well, they have to clean their desk first. So you see that gets in the way, and that can be a real problem. And we have hundreds of those in our little background there that we.
I can't tell you how many people I know that are in careers that they say, I realize I make a lot of money, for example, and I have a career that is highly respected, but you know something? If I had the chance to do this all over again, this isn't who I am, and this is not who I want to do. And I think, and they're very grateful for their parents' direction. They don't mean to take anything away from that, but they said, boy, I wished I would have sat down and just thought for a minute, who am I, what am I good at, and how do I want to spend the rest of my life?
But that needs to be told to them somewhere in an early stage. That has to be explained that you're good at this, you can do this, this is a possibility.
Or what about just exposing kids to lots of different things so they can find out what they like?
Now we're talking, that's called experience. That's not a belief.
Okay.
See, a belief is what we have a tendency to put energy upon, but we can't prove it. So we have an opinion about it, a belief in which we carry our faith. But an experience, a true experience, no. That is what we know. And there's a difference between knowledge and belief. And this is what we need to service ourselves
I've heard someone say, you never forget how to ride a bike because you've learned how to do it. So even if you haven't ridden for 30, 50 years, you get on that bike and ride again. But if you study how to read a bike, you may never be able to ride a bike.
This is true. You can study about it, and all you have is a belief system. But you're right, absolutely correct.
So how does this come into the business world? How can we use that today?
Well, a lot of people aren't where they want to be because they're following advice that isn't them. It's a belief system that they've locked onto and have taken upon themselves to work with rather than deal with. And so this is a huge difference in life.
I would think too, if you're applying for a job, you may really need that job because you need the income. But if you're not going to be good at it, do employers tend to sense that in you?
I think so. I certainly sense people when they're applying for a job rather than going to work. There's a a job is
like
just
looking for a field of endeavor rather than a job.
Yeah, because a job is just that. Here, go sweep the floor. That's a job. But would you like to run the place and have the floor swept by others? That's a career, perhaps management, where they can do what they're doing.
So how can we learn how to do this?
Well, one of the things we can do is analyze our dreams. Every dream we have relates to the years between 6 and 8.5 years old.
Oh my goodness.
Isn't that interesting?
Okay.
Yeah.
And if we paid it, well, obviously we're not 6 and 8. I'm not 8 or 6, right? Nor are you. How do we do that, though? I mean, obviously that was way before.
Well, every dream relates to those periods. Every dream relates to information that was given to us. So what we need to do is analyze that dream and see how we can find what is our blocks so we do not follow a false belief.
And live a life where we're not very happy and not very content and probably not as prosperous.
That's true.
All right. Very interesting.
True.
Thank you for your time, sir. It's always great to have you with us.
Well, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. For Charter Local Edition, I'm Tracy Young.
Hold on. You've got to hear this. I know. How'd I get so lucky?
Every call can be great when you're saving 35% or more. Join the millions who are already saving with Charter Phone.